Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
It's the moments in life, the decisions you make on a moment-to-moment basis that add up to be the guy or not the guy. Tonight, I did something, that I feel more of a guy. For me, who I am, my guy.
I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
You got a lot of people paying their hard-earned money to come watch you perform. It's your job to be in shape. It's your job to be strong enough to perform at that level every single night. And as a competitor, I'm not ducking shit.
Well, I think working class guys, the whole bloody world rests on their shoulders. It really matters if they do a good job. And so a lot of working class guys come to my shows and they say, look, I've been listening to your lectures while I'm doing long haul trucking or while I'm working in my forklift, whatever. I think, great, man, get the hell at it. Do your job properly.
Do it.
You bet, and do it right. Support your family, man the hell up, live a responsible life, and what you're doing is valuable. I don't care what anyone else has to say about it.
I don't know where you're at in your life or what you're going through, but I want to tell you to keep going, baby. I want to tell you success is on the other side of it. I want to tell you it's going to be okay. I want to tell you that the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason, because what's in front of you is so much more important than what's behind you. Let's party, Nashville!
You know better, but you're not doing better. That's some scary shit for you to decide. Here's limitations with my career and my marriage and my personal life. Here's some dysfunction in my career, my personal life, and my surroundings and my friends. I know better, but I'm so used to doing wrong and being dysfunctional. I know better, but I don't want to do better. I know better, but I'm not willing to do better.
Pressure changes everything, pressure. Some people, you squeeze them, they focus. Others fold. You summon your talent at will, and you deliver on a deadline, and you sleep at night.
Right now in life, your family is looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
If you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life. What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately. And so it's like, we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. It's just like, do you want to pay the price tag to get the thing? And so I think if people reframe the period of life that they're going through as the price that they're paying out of their wallet, but the wallet is their time, it's the seconds of life that they're trading for it, then I think more people would be willing to make the trip.
You see that look right there? Don't ever let a man see you like that. Did you give him the power over you? If you gotta take an L, you take it with your head up, chest out, like a man.
You be that warrior in that garden. All right? And you stand strong. You be a strong man. You be a good man. And you just let the world rage around you.
The 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 of them are just targets. 10 do most of, or 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. So many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. And that's just how I live my life.
That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation almost every time. It's hell.
But can people just make that change? I mean,
yes.
look.
And you have to have a plan, and you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever shit job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you f***ed up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something.
And I had one of the greatest lessons I ever learned, and I'm about to share it with you. This will be worth the price of being here today if you can capture what I'm about to share with you. Here's what Mr. Shoaff said. Set a goal to become a millionaire. And he said, here's why. For what it will make of you to achieve it. And I got one of the greatest classes in one sentence I've ever received in my life. Set a goal that'll make you stretch that far. For what it will make of you to achieve it. What a brand new reason for setting goals. And here's why. The greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value in life is what you become.
I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. All I wanted to be was an uncommon man. In my whole life, I was not that. Much worse than that. I know what it takes to be a combat soldier, and I used to look for courage. I thought courage was a man who won the Medal of Honor. It is. But courage is a man who's willing to put those boots on every single day of his life to go out there and fight for this country where nobody even knows what the hell they're doing or where the hell they're at. You do it for the man beside you.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. No. When you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts.
Everybody's asleep, man, or they're just getting home after a long night. You know, going out there partying. It's Friday night. It's close to 3 in the morning right now. It's always going to be a party. It's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life. You know, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man.
The next time you want to just give in to that desire for comfort, remember that your future self is going to be the one to suffer the consequences. It's so easy to just put it off and act like it doesn't exist. But that future self that you're passing all these burdens to will one day be yourself of the present, and you'll wish you chose to do otherwise.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
It's easy to give up. You know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
You feel like you're missing out on all the fun. Me too. Everyone else has more friends. Everyone else does the fun stuff on the weekends. Everyone else gets all the attention. We're missing out on a lot, and it doesn't end there. We're missing out on the endless search for acceptance from an empty source. We're missing out on the constant need to mask the reality of who we are. We're missing out on the acting like everything is okay and shutting down when the crowd is gone. So yeah, we're missing out, but I think that's just fine for now.
Something my parents taught me that they practiced all their life. Don't miss anything. Don't miss the game, don't miss the concert, don't miss the performance, don't miss the show. Don't miss the conversation. Don't miss the sermon. Don't miss the class. Don't miss anything. Go, look, see, learn, try, taste. When my father was 73 years old, after my mother was gone, or 93 years old, before he died, if you would have called him at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, he wouldn't be home. He's at the concert, he's at church, he's at the rodeo. He's watching the kids play softball every night, somewhere. Unbelievable. Let that flavor of life be part of your lifestyle. Go taste, go listen, go enjoy.
If what you are doing is not moving you towards your goals, then it's probably moving you away from your goals. Nothing is neutral. Everything that you're doing is either moving you toward the things that you want to accomplish in life, the person you want to be, the wealth you want to accumulate, or it's moving you away. Everything counts.
It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It was about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest worker in the room. That's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight. They got knocked down more than they ever stood up. But they kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, because what else is the alternative? To be average again. That sucks, man. And it really sucks when you've tasted success at one point in your life.
Why we should work this hard. Why take that many classes. Why go to school that many years, you know? Why take the notes? Why read the books? Why work that hard? Why put yourself through the push-ups and the disciplines? Why? Good question, why? Best answer to why, I think, is the second question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you can become to the marketplace and to your friends and to your family? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can earn, how much you can share? Why not? Why not you? Why not you? With good self-esteem. Why not you starting to change and setting goals? Why not you starting to make progress toward financial independence? If I can do it, you can do it. If we can read, you can read. If we can change, you can change. If we can figure it out, you can figure it out. If we can turn it around, you can turn it around. There isn't anything you can't accomplish. That's what those testimonials would say. And so I want to say it to you personally. Why not you? You've got the brains, you've got the stamina, you've got the vitality, you've got the interest, you've got your life ahead of you, you've got the future. You can do it. If anybody can do it, you can do it. If one of us can do it, hey, we all can do it.
When you taste these finer things of life, all the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice to get them, it's well worth it. If anything, it's a small down payment for the price and the reward you got and that feeling. And once felt, how do you ever turn your back on it? Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are going to do this together. And you're going to be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm going to be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. If you don't like how it is for you, change it. If it doesn't suit you, change it. If it doesn't please you, change it. If it isn't enough, change it. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice.
You know, there comes a day, man, everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening, it makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now there comes something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on, so you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average, just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get all, and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something fucking hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success to remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work to get it.
It's the what if I can pull off a miracle? What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's event.
Why on earth are you trying to stop overthinking? If there's anything you should be grateful for, it's the fact that you have the mental energy to care greatly about what's going on in your own life. Because a lot of people simply do not. Do you think the people we deem extraordinary in this world move through life without this perceived burden of overthought? Absolutely not. The problem is not the amplitude of your thinking, it's the direction. The goal is not to turn off your thoughts. The goal is to redirect them to positive ideation, because an active mind is not a weakness, it's the greatest strength.
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
I'm realizing that I have to daily show up for myself if I want my life to be what I want it to be.
Right.
It is a battle. And not only that, but it's like you have to have some sort of a plan. When I used to be a little bit more aimless, I was just like, oh, I want things to be good. It wasn't enough.
So the goal was to be the first one at breakfast. So I set my alarm. I make sure I'm up by sunrise. I get out of bed. I put on my gear and I head downstairs. But when I get there, Kobe's already there with ice packs on his knees, drenched in sweat. Now, it took me a minute to figure it out, but this guy wasn't only awake before me. He had already worked out. He had just played in the finals days earlier. Meanwhile, I'd been off for months and I was still exhausted. What he had done that morning was incomprehensible to me. That dedication he had only days after falling short of an NBA championship. That taught me something I've never forgotten. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And that's what I hope to communicate to anyone watching this.
It's not going to work unless I change. And nothing changes in my life until I change.
You know, I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art, and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin.
Impossible is nothing that somebody will try. Everything that somebody
Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right. He is fighting additional solid black trunks that hair. He weighed in at 234.5 pounds with a record of 49 wins, 3 losses.
George Foreman admits that he gave Muhammad Ali everything he had. And Muhammad Ali grabbed him and pulled him to him. Old man hadn't fought in years, hurt. And Muhammad Ali pulled him to him and said, is that all you got? And George Foreman said when he heard the words, is that all you got? It penetrated his spirit. And said, I done gave my man everything I got. I can't seem to knock him down. And Muhammad Ali said when he said that to him, he looked into the pupils of his eyes and he said at that point he knew George Foreman had lost.
You better make sure in the next season of your life that the person who walked away from you know what they're missing. You better do something with your life. Did you look at me? You better do something so strong and so big with your life that they have to sit on the couch and say, that's the one that got by. Man, I should have just stayed in there a little bit longer. I should have been a little more patient. I should have prayed a little bit harder. Do something with your life that makes them regret turning you away and turning you over. That means getting better and not bitter.
You know, basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
The world becomes your library to help you improve your craft, better your craft.
Yes, indeed.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
I will never quit. Because if you quit, you're done. You may still be alive walking around on this earth. You're done. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I hold myself to that standard.
People don't see that. People will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted 202, you know, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, you know. So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it.
I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
When this goes online or whatever it is, it really matters, and it really doesn't matter. What matters is, the people who are sparked by it, and the people who are offended by it. It doesn't fucking matter, because it's about motivating the doers.
My personal goal is to squeeze every ounce of potential out of whatever I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, then it will eat you alive until you do something about it. Almost every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, that most people want to do during that entire season of their life. And they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they want most.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
Just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is, you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of, but all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to. Make sure you live in the moment and work your every single day.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person. You'll have a better understanding of yourself. You'll have a better understanding of your purpose. But if you don't take that trip and the darkness comes visit you, it's a guest that will never leave.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. You are bound by nothing.
Bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
The mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
This is yours. You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody.
I dare you to stop f***ing around and dedicate the next 6 months of your life exclusively to your goals and your goals only. Don't announce it to anyone. Don't tell people on Instagram about it. Don't tell anybody. Just disappear, do the work, and reemerge in 6 months a different person.
It's 1 a.m. I'm going for my third workout.
Do I want to go to the gym? Absolutely not. I'd rather, lay in my house and sit in the movie theater and watch movies. But, to be the best, you got to work overtime. To be the best, you got to work overtime.
What it really comes down to is people just don't want it bad enough. Because I've seen countless examples of people that will say they don't have time, that say they don't know how, but when something becomes important enough for them, they figure it out.
The highest level winners do what?
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every single one of them. Think about it.
Really was.
Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Every single day, your mind is the one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes. Don't worry about it.
What's the central part of your training? Is it running? Is it sparring? Or
central part is dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the girls. You know the truth? And being in the bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. And if you can get by that, you'll make it. No, that's the truth. Now, I tell you the truth.
One of the things you have to understand about life is everything changes and everything ends. And that kind of sounds heavy on the front end, but it's a truth. If everything changes and everything ends, number one, it should make you appreciate what you have right now. And then my view is what's next is always better.
I want to be up, then anybody in the world wants me to be down. And it's all about, well, like I said before, self-belief. My whole success is from belief. Something I can feel, but not actually see.
Man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta do the extra work. And I gotta show up when other guys aren't. And I've gotta learn, I've gotta continue to be open to learning.
The message I try to deliver to people is play to win. Don't play to avoid loss, because the things you fear, the things that's gonna happen to you. Set that target on something positive, work for it, expect it.
Get serious. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be.
And having these setbacks where I can't even run a mile, but I'm thinking about running 135. I can't run 1 mile. And what if I can win it?
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
No. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you would.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves. Life is one big mind game, and you're playing it with yourself.
Let me leave you with some words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world that they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare.
My biggest fear in life is if there is a final resting place in this world, and there's a final judgment, and you talk to something much bigger than you. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone with something that says, you're in heaven, this is what you should have been on earth. And are you really in heaven now, or are you in hell?
2 forms of pain. Pain that breaks you, and the pain that changes you. That's the pain of a change right there. That's the pain of progress. The pain that destroys you isn't this It's later in life knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and the mirror and tears of a possibility left that you allow to die. Own your life, guys. You get every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room. In all your endeavors, schoolwork, the gym, your career, your relationship, your name's attached to it. It's gotta mean more than anything.
We live in a box, and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. But what we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So if my mind was shackled, me and you would never meet. There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be nothing. I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back. I gotta get my head back in the game. I gotta figure this out. It doesn't mean you leave. It means you study it more. It means you study it more. And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Not trying is failure.
You are the only one who has the guts. We have the guts to go to work and show up every single fucking day, day in and day out, putting in the work. You fight through the noise, you fight through the fatigue, you fight through it all. You stay extremely intensely focused on the goal. And once you fight through that fatigue, you fight through the noise. On the other side of that is your goals. On the other side of that is the accomplishment. On the other side of that is your greatness.
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide, fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it. Let me tell you something, homie. These women ain't going nowhere. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
You're born with a gift. If not that, then you get good at something along the way. And what you're good at, you don't take for granted. You don't betray it.
What if you do betray your gift?
You betray yourself. That's a sad thing.
See, Mouse, if there's one thing I learned while I was locked up, when you down bad, you really find out who in your corner. See, everybody talk that loyal shit. When it's time to be loyal, everybody disappear.
The obstacle is the path. Never forget that inside every problem, obstacle, adversity is an opportunity to improve your condition. We understand at a superficial level, that's what we mean when we say the obstacle is the way.
You have to work harder than you think you possibly can. You can't hold grudges. It's hard, but you can't hold grudges. And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up. Rent is due is just this idea that like you have to pay your dues every single day. I'm a big believer that you have to do hard things. Everything you want in life is on the other side of something that sucks. That means getting cold, that means getting hot, that means moving fast, that means lifting heavy it means having tough conversations, it means being present, it means being focused. All of those things are hard, and everything good comes on the other side of doing those hard things. That is rent that you have to pay every single day. Do the tiny daily deposit that compounds positively in your life.
If you're sitting down with me, I'm somebody you really want me on the team. What's your approach to recruitment?
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else. The challenge, like I would watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, Can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. Let's find out.
Consistency isn't about frequency, it's about identity. What do I mean by that? Well, the reason you fail at staying consistent is because you think consistency is about doing the same thing over and over. That is a dangerous mindset. Consistency is about becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done, no matter what. Stop asking, how do I stay consistent? And start asking, who do I need to become? The moment you shift from, I have to do this, to this is just who I am, consistency becomes effortless.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
Anybody that's successful, they've dealt with failure more than success, because you have to fail in order to succeed, in order to become that spirited person that knows how to have that drive. And that's in anything. Before I got put on, I failed many times.
When I had my accident, I found out at that moment, nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past. Everybody asked me the question. They wanted to know, what kind? I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody wanted to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
The real enemy of consistency isn't laziness, it's your indecision. You think you struggle with being consistent because you're lazy, but that's not it. The truth is, you haven't decided what truly matters to you. Every time you waffle on your priorities, you break your own momentum. Make a decision, commit to it fully, and eliminate the noise. It's the lack of decision that's killing your consistency, not your lack of effort.
Sunrise, sun goes down. There is a up, there is a down. Since we are born, we have inhaled 50% of our times, we have exhaled 50% of our times. Our heart, the same, sucking the blood, pumping the blood, also the same. Always 50-50. Always the exchange between left and right, up and down, bright and dark, in and out, success and failure. This world is not propagating failure to you. It is propagating success to you. So our mind is looking for success, starting to believe there's only one way, there's only one direction in this life that we live.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
What if everything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked for? Think of it like this. The universe is using every challenge to adjust your energy and frequency, getting you ready for what you really want. Each tough moment is a lesson, helping you manifest your dreams by ensuring you're ready to receive them when they arrive.
Everything in your life is a reflection of a choice you have made. If you want a different result, make a different choice.
What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked in. That's what the storm is all about, right? Now, in the midst of the storm, a lot of people feel like, man, I lost this. I lost that, right? But when you come out of the storm, the perspective that you gain, right? The person that you have become, right? The happiness that you gain, the joy, the peace that you gain, right? You always gain something in spite of what you consider to be a loss.
Your belief system has to be really, really strong. You know, you have to really, really believe it and really, really want it. Otherwise, it's just too much to endure. I mean, because, you know,
Everybody's questioning you, and these challenges are hard to endure.
You love this game. I mean, love it with your whole heart. Because if you don't, let's not even bother. Let's not open that door. They're just going to slam it right in our face. I love this game. I live this game. And there's 1,000 other guys waiting in the wings who are obsessed with this game. Obsession's going to be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about? Let's face it, it's you against you out there. When you walk on that court, you have to think, I am the best guy out there.
Everybody's built for it. If you can just believe in you and no one else believes in you, that's enough.
It's very important that to take risks in life. This is the key. In my opinion, this is the difference between very successful people and people who don't take risks.
You're not done yet. It's not over for you yet. It's not over. It's not gonna be over. You've come so far and you didn't come this far to get this far and to just stop being this far. You have so much inside of you, so much potential inside of you to go forward. Be proud of you. Be proud of how you've gotten here. Be proud of who you've built yourself to be to get here and say, I have more. I have more in the tank. I have more in my life. I have more for my life. There was more called in my life. There was more put inside of me to build my life.
We have a million and one excuses that we could go to. Fact of the matter is, we're not going to make it. They played better than we did in this series. We had opportunities to win it. Then go for us. So we just have to regroup. Like I said, next season starts right now, and come back next season and play.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
Progress is not a straight path. It is a winding road, shadowed by doubt and lit by fleeting moments of hope. There will be days that you feel lost, as if the darkness is closing in, and every step forward is met with resistance. This journey will test you, breaking you down to your core, stripping away your comfort and leaving you exposed. But in these moments of despair, when the road seems endless, remember that growth comes from the deepest struggles. So trust the process, even when it feels like the night will never end.
You're being a to yourself, man. You're not getting out there and squeezing that soul out every day.
Yeah.
If you grind hard, man, I ain't got time to worry about your monkey ass. I ain't got time to worry about you, man. Because tomorrow, I got to go back to the grind. And tomorrow, I go back to the grind again and again and again and again. I don't have time to put you into the hate bank. There's no hate. It's all filtered out, man, through the grind. People don't get it. There's great joy in the grind. Great joy in the suffer. It totally cleanses your body out, man, of any kind of hate. Makes you grow up.
Doubt is such a strange thing. I mean, it's, there'll be times where you succeed and there are times that you fail. So wasting your time doubting whether you're going to be successful or not is pointless. It is. I mean, you just put one foot in front of the other, you control what you can't control, and then you see what the outcome is, right? If you win, great. You're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey over again. If you lose, it sucks, but you're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey all over again anyway.
Through facing your fears, through falling down and getting back up, that's what creates the champion. Success does not define us. We define the success.
People change all the time, dude. It's just a decision that you got to make, and you got to take the actions of the person that you want to become. Make the decisions that that person that you know you want to be like would make, even when you're you now, and eventually you become that person. So decide who you want to be, start making the decisions that person would make, and eventually you legitimately become that in your life. And it won't feel like that today, and it won't feel like that tomorrow. Probably going to take a minute for you to adjust to being the kind of person you want to be. But if you keep following with those actions over and over and over and over and over again of the person that you want to be like, eventually you become that person, and it's reality.
But if you want to see if you're a brave person, what they call the 4 o'clock in the morning courage, wait when things go completely to pieces, when things are the worst, when your very best deal falls apart and your rent is late and you're tired and you're sick and everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't work, then it's the person that picks themselves up and says, nothing is going to stop me. But the quality is to develop the quality of being unstoppable.
Are areas in this life where you are like a passive driver. You're sitting at the back seat, somebody is driving, and yeah, you can enjoy the view. But in this case, when you want to make that fire grow, you need to become the driver. You must be the one directing the thoughts, directing the actions, directing the energy.
The minute that you trip and fall, when you hit that ground, that's who you are. And if you really want to know who you are, it's how you get back up. To me, that's what this is all about, right? It's that discomfort. It's like the way that you react to that is sort of who you are. That's where we can really see a true illustration of your DNA.
You guys must be the now of what you want to be later. It starts right now. If you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror. Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Now think about that. If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. You've got to understand that you've already got it. Use your imagination. See yourself already in possession of the good you desire. That will flip your mind onto a specific frequency. And you do think on frequencies. It's on that frequency that good you desire is going to start coming toward you, and you will start moving toward it. If you want to attract what you actually want, you've got to see yourself now already with it. And know it's only a period of time until you moving toward it and it moving toward you, and you become one with it.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what other people will think of you if you fail. But if you're afraid of that, imagine what they think of you when you aren't even trying. Oh yeah, they aren't.
3 elements to happiness. Am I practicing discipline? Am I living a lifestyle that allows me to control the things that I'm in control of? 2, am I full of gratitude? Do I have gratitude for where I'm at? Sometimes we're very thankful. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we are again. Sometimes we aren't. We feel better when we are. And the last thing is, and this is the big one, is what is my purpose and what is my mission? Is it very clear to find? Do I go after it every single day? And if you have those 3 elements, it never really gets boring. It gets boring when you're missing one of those elements. And that's where you start to feel unfulfilled and unhappy in what it is that you're working on.
The quote goes like this: one day or day one.
Greatness, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Period.
What type of reality are you even living? What type of reality are you living? Are you living a proactive reality where you're continually problem solving and looking at all of the different ways that you could manipulate, guide, or push your reality that you want in your favor? Or are you living a reactive reality where you just continually allow what is going to happen? It is what it is. What can I do? I don't have any control over any of this. Getting knocked from one thing to the next, sitting there complaining, all sad that nothing's changing. Well, I can tell you right now, if you live in a reactive reality, you need to stop. Because if you really want to live the life of your dreams, you have got to start living a proactive reality.
So I want to ask you a question. What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Because we all have fears, don't we? We all have something that's blocking us, that's holding us back. And as we begin to look at life, what we realize is that the reason that most people are not living out their true potential, are not doing all of the things that they would really like to do, is because of fear.
You could become anyone and anything you want at any time in your life. Like, there is no limit. You just do the work and you get there. The human mind, the human body, the human psyche is so pliable. You can literally become anyone and anything. Multiply that over time and experience, and don't quit even when it sucks.
Procrastination is a thief. It steals your dreams, your time, your potential, each time that you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you let another piece of your future slip away. And it feels harmless in the moment, just a small delay, a temporary pause. But those moments add up, turning days into years and dreams into regrets. Procrastination is a slow poison. It does not destroy you all at once, but it will eventually. Act now before tomorrow becomes a memory of what could have been.
Without vision, you will not be able to say no to the parties. Without vision, you will not be able to say no to the drugs. Without vision, you will not be able to say no to the things in your life that are preventing you from getting to that next level, from becoming the person that you are meant to be, from bringing your dreams into reality.
It has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with mentality, spirit, DNA, ethos, how I show up, what I take pride in, what I live for every single day. I live by 2 words as a man: honor and legacy. I honor the ones that paved the way for me. I work to leave a legacy for the ones that's coming behind me. Everything I touch, I want to make it better.
People get frustrated not achieving what they want because they assume that they're going to jump across a cavern in one leap. But if you picture your goals like you're trying to build a bridge across that crevice, and every brick that you put on that bridge is progress, and each one of those bricks represents a skill that you need to learn along the way. It just takes all the way until you get to the other side that you can actually walk across. And so the walking across is the outcome. It's the external perceived achievement. But if you can reframe your progress as, what are the 100 things on this checklist? What are the 100 skills that I need, the micro skills that I need? Then you can have much faster feedback cycles of wins that you're achieving along the way. And I think if you can define it that way, then you can feel like you are winning, A, more often, but B, with higher intensity, because as you win, skills stack on top of each other.
The greatest gap between successful and unsuccessful people is the gap between knowing and doing. Sometimes the biggest step in the right direction ends up honestly being the biggest step of your life.
You're not the best version of yourself if you don't have your mind right, if you don't have your body right, if you don't have your money right, if you don't have your spirituality right, if you don't have your character right, and you're trying to help other people, you're going to be ineffective. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to build ourselves up into the best possible us, and we have to have our together in the best possible way in order to actually benefit other people.
Speak it as if it has already happened. Chase it like it belongs to you. Speak it as if you demand it out of the universe. I want to see my family together. I want to see growth. I want to see my business. I want to see my health improved. And then put the actions to your words. Because one without the other is like a coin with no other side. There's no value. You need to have real currency in life. You need to have a promise that you make to yourself that not only will I speak it, I will become it. And if I become it, I can overcome it. Whatever it is that tries to stop me, I know that I'm becoming a better version of me. And whatever I have to hurdle in order to become that, I end up showing others that there's a way around. Whatever you have to do, keep speaking life over your life.
I dare you to go attack your impossibilities. Everything was once impossible until somebody did it. And don't let people place their impossibilities on your life. What they couldn't do has nothing to do with what you can do.
Manifest now. Speak it as if it already happened. Talk about it as if it has already occurred. Don't worry about having some kind of imposter syndrome, because you're facing the impossible and you realize if I separate it, it is I'm possible. There is no impossible.